Okay, so my name is Sangeeta, guys. So we will start the Jira session. Okay, so before we get into the Jira as a tool, okay, first let's start from the scratch. So guys, basically, I'm sure you all know where Jira is used. So please note, Jira is an agile tool, guys. Okay, Jira is a agile tool. The reason why I'm saying agile because you can use Jira in multiple frameworks under Agile. Okay. So to understand Jira better, I would definitely want to explain you certain terminologies or terms that are used in Scrum, that is a part of Agile. Okay. That would be useful to understand what is Jira. Are we all clear, guys? Any questions so far?
Can you repeat again, ma'am?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Can you repeat again?
Sure. What I'm doing is I'm just talking about the basic terminologies that will come under Scrum, guys. Okay. With this, you will be able to understand the Jira better. Yeah. Okay. So first and foremost, let's understand what you mean by a project. So guys, please understand under any SDLC methodology, it could be waterfall or agile. Project is same. What is a project? Project is nothing but the end product or an application you want to deliver to the client is called as a project. Okay, so Jira would have certain projects underneath. Okay, so we will work on projects in Jira. Second important point. When you're talking about Scrum, now what do you mean by Scrum? Scrum is nothing but a certain framework, okay, whose main purpose is to deliver the project in shorter iterations. Please understand what do you mean by an iteration? It is called as a small release or in small elements. Okay, so the main purpose of Scrum is to deliver the project in shorter iterations, guys. Okay, so in order to deliver the project in short iterations, we will have to follow a strict process. Okay, wherein you would be able to convince and satisfy the client with your deliverables. So underneath this, the first term that you have to learn is called as a product backlog. Now, what do you mean by a product backlog? Please understand, guys, a product backlog is nothing but a bigger list of the features. Okay, let me give you an example. Let's assume I want to work on Amazon.com. That is my project. I want to deliver Amazon.com application to the client. Okay. So first and foremost, what we would do, we would identify certain features that we would want to develop under this. One could be registration can be a feature. Login can be a feature. Okay. Probably search can be a feature. Offers and discounts can be a feature, payment can be a feature, and so on and so forth, right? So guys, please note, under Scrum, these features are also called as epics. These features are also called as epics. So what is an epic or a feature? It is nothing but a bigger chunk or a bigger element that you want to deliver to the client, guys. Okay, like for example, under registration, you will have a lot of smaller tasks. Like for example, admin registration is one, customer registration is one, manufacturer registration can be one. Okay, probably delivery boy could be one. I'm just giving you examples, guys. Okay, so these could be features or this thing. Again, under login, you can have an employee login. You could have a customer login. You could have a manufacturer or a seller login and so on and so forth, right? So guys, please understand. These small elements, whatever you see here, is called as a user story. And these are called as your features or your epics. So again, going back to what I was talking about, a product backlog is a list of features. When I'm saying a list of features, they also include the user stories also. Okay. Now, what is a user story? User story is nothing but a task or an activity that the team has to complete in a stipulated time or in a specific time, guys. Okay, that is called as a user story. Are we all clear? Do you have any questions, guys?
So registration is a user story, right?
Registration is an epic.
Epic.
Registration is an epic. And under registration, you have smaller tasks that you need to finish. And these are all called as user stories.
Hello,
Are
ma'am.
we all? Yes.
Ma'am, what is difference between product backlog and ethics?
Product backlog is a list, Vicky. That is what I told you, right? A product backlog is a list. And epic is a feature. Epic is a feature. A product backlog would have all the epics and all the user stories. Okay. So guys, now
Yes.
I have a yeah.
So when feature and epic both are same?
Yes, both are same. Okay, clear so far, guys?
Ma'am, tasks only performed by individually
I didn't understand your question. Task?
can perform individually or group.
Generally, task would be depends on the task. The task can also be individual. Task can also be completed as a team also. Depends on the size of the task.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, guys. Now let's talk about what do you mean by a sprint. So guys, now please understand, when I'm talking about a sprint is a time-boxed event under which you complete few user stories. Okay, so guys, please understand, a sprint is nothing but a time-boxed event where you complete few user stories, guys. And this sprint can start from 1 week to 4 weeks also. Okay, and the industry says 2 to 4 weeks is a recommended sprint duration, but there are companies out there who can have 1 week sprints, 2 weeks, and even custom made sprints. They can have a very unique timeline here. But again, eventually a sprint is something that you would use to complete your user stories. Okay, guys, are we all clear? Now, how does this whole process work? How does the Scrum process work? I'll show you like this. Wait. Okay. They started at 11 o'clock, nursing now. Okay, so guys, see, can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
This is how the Scrum project works, guys. So basically what happens initially, the whole team of end users, customers team, everybody will come together and they will work on this product backlog. If you notice, this product backlog has multiple features in it. Multiple features, and they will also have user stories in the product backlog. So product backlog is more like the product owner's baby, right? Product owner is the one who will finalize the product backlog, or probably he is the one who has a lot more understanding on the product backlog. So what will the Scrum team do? The Scrum team will pull out certain tasks from the product backlog based on lot of factors such as MVP, such as your Moscow technique. They would use multiple scenarios and they will pull out some features or certain user stories into a sprint backlog. I'll tell you what is sprint backlog a little later, guys. Don't worry. They will pull out certain sprints. Okay, now there is a meeting that is called a sprint planning meeting, guys. So in this planning meeting, the team will decide how many user stories can I work on, how many resources would be involved in this sprint, what is the duration of the sprint, which are the important features I have to work first. All that they will prepare one sprint. Okay, now what's going to happen? They will take this sprint and start working on it, guys. Now, the example given here is, let's assume the sprint is for 2 weeks. They have a 2-week sprint. Okay, now they will start the sprint. And if you see there are no changes, can anyone tell me why is that no changes here? What do you mean?
Ma'am, the client might not have come up with any change request.
Why not? Because Scrum is a very flexible model, right? You can and you should have changes.
It's the release, right? No changes. If there are no changes, then it should be a release of that product or a
Yes, but again,
small part.
there will, yeah, true though, but there will be no, there is no scenario where there will be no changes. I'll tell you the answer, guys. Anybody has an answer? Okay, so if you notice here, guys, it says no changes here. What does that mean is, if you have a change request, while working on this sprint, you will not add that change request directly to the sprint. You cannot add any change request directly to the sprint. You will add this change request to the product backlog. From there, again, a new sprint will come. But while the sprint is running, you cannot add new user stories to this sprint, because by doing so, it will change the duration, the goal, and the commitment that you have given to complete this sprint of 2 weeks will not be completed, guys. Okay, so any change request that you have, make sure you add it to the product backlog, and eventually you will create a sprint, which is why it clearly says no changes. Okay, so going back a little, again, you will start your sprint. While you're having your sprint, every day you will have a 15 minutes meeting, guys. That 15 minutes meeting is called as a daily stand-up meeting or a Scrum meeting. Okay, where they will talk about 3 factors. What have you done yesterday? What will you do today? And what will you do tomorrow? Okay, so 3 points would be discussed in a sprint plan, this daily stand-up meeting. Okay, now as they are doing this, they'll have 2 more meetings called as review and retrospective. Okay, so what is a review and retrospective meeting? It happens at the end of your sprint, like asking what went right and what went wrong in this particular sprint. You will be discussing that in the review meeting. And what lessons have you learned that you can use for the coming sprints, that would be discussed in the retrospective meeting, guys. Okay, so eventually, like this, you will be completing your sprint. Again, same thing will start.
And there are total 4 meetings like this.
We will have daily stand-up, review, yes, 4 meetings related to.
And these meetings are known as Scrum ceremonies.
Scrum ceremonies, yes.
Okay.
Scrum ceremonies. Are we all clear, guys? What does that mean now? What is a product backlog refinement? We are trying to refine and constantly keep on cleaning our product backlog. Don't you agree? When you have a change request, you constantly keep on cleaning, right? So what is refinement? Refinement is cleaning your product backlog on continuous basis. That is the main purpose or the main goal of this Scrum. Are we all clear, guys?
Yes, yes.
Perfect. Yes, Krishna Kumar, you have a question? Please ask.
So, the review will happen only if the sprint is 2 weeks, the review will happen only one time in the 2 weeks of span, right?
End of the sprint.
Yeah, end of the sprint. And coming to retrospective is only end of the sprint, right?
Yes.
And the DS will happens every day.
Daily stand-up?
Will happens every day.
Every day, yes.
Okay.
Ma'am, in that case, what is the difference between review and retrospective meeting?
Sure, I'll tell you. So basically in the review meeting, what you will discuss is, like, let's assume in this sprint, you have like 10 user stories that you want to work on. Okay. But what happened? You were only able to do only 8. Okay. So what happened? 2 you did not do, right? What should I do with those 2 user stories? What will I do? I will add it back to the product backlog and I will create a new sprint. Now in the review meeting, what you will discuss is, why were you unable to deliver the 10 user stories as discussed? You planned something, but you're unable to deliver. What went wrong? What if you were able to finish it in 1.5 weeks? What went right? So any discussion related to this current sprint is discussed in the review meeting. Are we all clear?
Yeah.
Now, retrospectively, what happens with this lessons? Can I do any betterment to the coming sprints? Can we do any betterments to the coming sprints? What lessons I have learned today that I can use later? That is discussed in the retrospective meeting.
So both these meetings are held at the end of the sprint,
Yes.
one by one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So Sai Priya, the Scrum ceremonies are nothing but meetings only. Sprint planning, daily stand-up review, and retrospective. They're all called as sprint ceremonies.
Okay, okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, clear with this diagram, all of you guys?
Yes.
Yeah. So let's get into the tool now. From there also, I'll explain you how exactly you can work on it. Okay. So before I get into the tool, what is Jira? So guys, basically, Jira was introduced, or Jira came from a word called as Gojira. Okay, that is nothing but in Japanese, it is called as Godzilla. Okay, it is called as Godzilla in Japanese, guys. The reason, the purpose of having this Godzilla as a name is, originally, we have a tool, I'm sure some technical people are known as, called as Bugzilla. Okay, we had a tool, it is no more relevant now. We had a tool earlier called as Bugzilla. I'll tell you, Vicky. Bugzilla, what the main purpose of Bugzilla was only to track the bugs. Please note, I'm telling this word, tracking the bugs, guys. We're not solving the bugs. I'm only tracking the bugs. What are bugs called as? The impediments or the issues or the blockers that is blocking the progress of your project. Okay, so this Jira has come from this Bugzilla. So having said that, Jira is a bug tracking tool originally, guys. Jira was originally used as a bug tracking tool only. Okay, wherein the teams used to only list down the bugs. List down the bugs using Jira and nothing else. So the company found it very useless. Just to track bugs, why should I buy a software? So now Jira has expanded its services or its wings. And now Jira is called as a project management tool. It's called as a project management tool. Now, what does that mean? It will manage the complete Scrum or Agile project using Jira. You can manage the complete Agile project end to end using Jira, guys. Okay, so Jira is originally a Atlassian based company. It is a Canadian company, guys. It's a Canadian Australian. It's a Atlassian is a company that is actually has developed this software called as Jira. Okay, guys, clear?
Yes.
So we also use this for bug tracking also.
Yes, even today it is still used for bug tracking. Apart from bug tracking, we can also do project management.
Okay, but we will be using it only for project management, isn't it?
Yes, because bugs are tracked by developed by the testing team.
Okay, okay. That is
But
automatically a part.
But still, we would also be tracking the bugs also. But that is originally the work of a testing team. We will only be working on the project management.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, guys.
Ma'am, one more question I have.
Yes, please.
Ma'am, I have one question. Jira tools use testing team use or project manager.
The Rathod testing team will use it. Even everybody who's a part of Scrum team will use it. I'll tell you a little later why. You'll understand this a little later.
Okay.
Yes, Deepak.
Yes, I
Ma'am,
have one question.
Yes.
Ma'am, what is project management actually?
Project management is managing your process, making sure your project is in the budget, in the timeline, and you have the right resources. Like originally what happens, Deepak, is every project has a duration and everything is fixed earlier only. The main purpose of a project manager is to make sure he manages the project very efficiently, which means whatever timeline that you have given, like 1 year or whatever, make sure the project is delivered without any issues in 1 year. Managing the project, the resources, everything is called as project management.
So ma'am, here how Jira works. This means we can do this on MS Excel also.
No, I'll tell you why. Give me a minute. Let me open the tool, Deepak. You'll understand why. Then only you'll be able to understand the question.
Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am.
This is
Yes.
Meenal here. I have
Yes,
a
Meenal.
question. From which stage of the project do we start using this tool? Means
From the
at
first stage, from the first stage only, Meenal.
Okay, because here we are saying that Jira is a bug tracking software, so that's the reason I was like little confused. That is it in the mid of the projects wherein we start using this tool, or from the beginning?
Meenal, originally Jira was a bug tracking tool. It is no more a bug tracking tool. Currently, it is also used for project management.
Okay.
Ma'am, is Jira similar to antivirus?
Jira similar to?
Antivirus, like, you are saying it's a bug tracking software. So is it same?
Antivirus.
Yes, ma'am.
Antivirus will prevent virus to come into your computer, right?
Yes, ma'am.
It only tracks the bugs, project-based bugs, not a system-based, project-based bugs.
Okay, ma'am. Yeah.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, present time Jira is project management tool.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
Sangeeta ma'am, I have one question.
Yes, Viren.
Yeah, actually, I just wanted to ask how different is Scrum from the other models? If you take some other model as Kanban, and if you take some other model as an extreme program, how it differs from the Scrum?
The way the project.
What exactly the changes?
There are a lot of changes, Viren, actually, not just one or two, because the way Kanban runs is more on eventually the motto of Agile is to deliver the project in smaller iterations only. The way we write user stories will differ. The way we have the prioritization will differ. The way we write the acceptance criteria will differ. The way we calculate these points would differ from Scrum to Kanban.
So in Kanban, there are no sprints as such. Only
no,
Scrum
we do have. But the way the sprints are handled, the way the user stories are written differs.
Okay. So some of the companies also follow the Kanban. So if we are asked,
very rarely.
So how it differs if you are asked in the interview? So how we should answer?
That is what I'm saying, right? User stories. The way you have a value. Do you know value statement, Viren?
Value statement
of
is
a user story.
Yes, for the complexity points and business value.
No. For a user story.
No.
As a user, I want to show that I can.
That I know. Yes, that I know. Yes.
That is not. You do not have the same style for Kanban.
Okay. So what is the style in that case?
You need to Google for that, Viren, because we are deviating from the task, right? From the session.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll check it on Google once.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Yes.
Any other questions, guys?
So, ma'am, in our case, bug tracking is only a part that has to be taken care by the developers and testers only.
Yes.
And we, as a business analyst or project manager, need not to bother about that.
No major.
Okay.
When you do UAT testing, you also track the bugs, right?
Okay.
Right. So
Yeah.
as a business analyst, you also track bugs and you only identify the bugs and put it in the Jira. Who will
Fine.
fulfill it is done by developers and testers, but we will also identify the bugs, no?
Okay.
Very quick question. So this can be used as a project management tool. However, we can also utilize it to report bugs, right? That's correct?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Extreme programming is also included in this Jira. We can
No, extreme programming is not there in Jira.
only Kanban and
Kanban.
Plan and Scrum.
Extreme programming is not used as far as I understand. None of the companies have started using XP, but Kanban and Scrum, yes. Office Scrum is extremely popular right now.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
So Jira mostly used for making the stories, no? Ma'am?
Making the
Stories.
no, I don't think so. You will understand this a little later. Once I open the tool and start explaining in the tool, I think you'll understand what exactly Jira can do.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Any other questions? Done. Okay. Fine. So, guys, let's get into the Jira now. So, guys, please know Jira is an open source tool. Now, what does that mean? Please understand that with Jira, you can install it on your own. You do not need any of the admin's dependency, neither the COPD's dependency to install Jira into your computer. Okay, guys. So you don't have to raise a service request, neither anything to install Jira. It's an open source tool, guys. Okay. So how do you install Jira? Just go to google.com. Okay. You can say, search saying download Jira software. Okay, guys. The first link that says atlassian.com, Jira software for all teams, you can click on that. Okay, guys. So you go to the Jira software and here you will get it free. Are we all clear, guys? Are you following the steps?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So here you have Jira software. Please understand we have other products of Jira as well. One is called as Confluence. Confluence is originally used for documents. If you want to save your documents, if you want to protect your documents using Jira, you can use Confluence. Generally, we don't use it for now, guys. It is handled by the companies. We will not touch that at all. And this is nothing but Jira service management. It is nothing but your DevOps and IT operations. Okay, so we don't use it for now. We will only concentrate on the Jira software. I will click on next. Okay, so guys, you need to log in using your Google account. Please create a Google account, guys. You can just connect here. Because I already have an account, I am logging in. But with your scenario, please make sure you log in using your Gmail account. Okay. Are we all clear so far, guys? Now, I will have to create one name to my site. I will say probably 001234. Okay. I need to get a tick mark here, guys. If I don't get a tick mark, I cannot go to the next step. Okay, I'll click here.
So this doesn't need a published site name or something like that. You have to create on your own as a custom one.
Yes. You do not need any. So your site will load for a few seconds. We'll just give it a minute. Yeah. So guys, now once your Jira, the thing is uploaded, guys, then you will have to set up your Jira. Okay. So what I'm doing, I have two things. Once I can skip on it, I can go to the next step, or else just for your understanding, you can also fill up the data. I am new to Jira. I'm setting a Jira for my business team or software team. My team is experienced. I spend time on features and I have a flexible, or else you can also skip, guys. So I am skipping the questions.
These are all optional.
Optional, exactly. So guys, here, if you look at this screen, I have to create a project. Okay. So if you notice, there is one recommended template, that is Kanban. If you notice, I told you earlier, Jira is an agile tool, not a Scrum tool. The reason being, in Jira, you can also work on Kanban also. Okay. So Jira is not only for your Scrum, you can also use it for other frameworks such as Kanban. So let's check if I'm doing the right one. So currently, Jira has not recommended Scrum. It is recommending Kanban. So I will change the template, guys. I'll change it to Scrum. Okay. So currently I have Scrum. So make sure you have Scrum as your template. Clear, guys? Okay. So now
in the last slide, you clicked on more templates and then that Scrum came. Here.
Yes.
Okay.
So
it's necessary,
Can-
ma'am.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
necessary to change only the Scrum one, or we need to by default choosing the Kanban.
No, please. Jira is by default recommending Kanban, but change it to Scrum.
Okay.
Why are we selecting Scrum though? I mean,
Because Scrum is a framework, right? Kanban is another framework.
Okay.
In our case, we will not be required to use Kanban.
No, that is a complete different framework.
Okay.
Can you please explain the difference so that we can be sure that Scrum क्यों use?
It's like different. It is like for example, if you want to eat fruit, is apple and orange of same taste?
Sorry, I didn't get the question.
Both are fruits only, right? So what are you saying? You want to eat apple, not orange, because apple is recommended to you by doctor. Same way, Scrum is recommended framework currently used in the industry. Kanban is not that recommended framework in the industry, which is why we are using Scrum.
Okay.
Clear?
Ma'am, we can use.
So in this case, when you say that, hello?
Yeah,
Am I audible? Yeah. So what I was trying to understand is, so I see this 3 different dashboards, right? I mean, options actually, Kanban, Scrum, and bug tracking. So if I understand correctly, you are saying that Scrum is a proper way wherein, this is being used in the industries. Okay. So why exactly do we get these 3 options? Is it specific to when we are in Agile, so we use Scrum and we'll not be using Kanban and bug tracking, or is bug tracking something related to, I mean, is also used in Scrum in a different way? Like just trying to understand.
Jira has access to three points, guys: Kanban, Scrum, and bug tracking. Jira will support these 3 things. So out of which the company will decide which features to purchase from Jira. If your project is Kanban, so the company will purchase the Kanban features and they will work on a Kanban project. If your organization wants to purchase Scrum and the bug tracking feature, they'll purchase Scrum and the bug tracking feature from Atlassian. So Jira is offering all of this. Which one you want to select depends on your project and the client.
So in near future, we can switch between these options also. Like depends on the company requirement.
Depends on the client requirement. Yes.
Okay.
If the client wants to run the project using Kanban, please move to Kanban.
Ma'am, does Scrum have like bug tracking system, or we need to use separately that this bug tracking system?
You will have to purchase it separately, Monica.
Okay.
Excuse me, Sangeeta, am I audible now?
Yes, Shalini, now you are.
Yes, I just wanted to know, after logging to Jira from the Gmail ID, they're asking you for your site. So what do you mean by your
Just
site?
give some random number, Shalini. Just some random list. Just some 001, whatever.
Okay.
Yes, Major. Okay, done. So guys, one recommendation, Shalini and others, please don't do Jira with me. Please do this Jira after the session is over, so that we can take it forward in a very smooth manner. First, understand how I'm taking it forward. After this recording is provided to you, you can definitely try out Jira after the session is over. Okay?
Okay.
Yes.
Ma'am, will I get a recording of this?
Yes, you will get the recording of this meeting.
Ma'am,
No,
we
I mean, in
need
the
to
laboratory
purchase it.
session.
I'm sorry, Major.
Hello? We need to purchase it, the Scrum thing.
Not now. The companies will purchase. Not you will not purchase it individually.
But as you are sure that this is an open source document, we can open it, create the account, and we can start working on it. So why is the need to purchase?
Because how will you put your documents? Your project is open to everybody, no? If you don't purchase it, I am your competitor. Can't I take your project user stories and everything if I don't purchase it?
Fine. That means right now what we are doing is only for practice purpose.
Only for practice purpose, yes.
Okay. Otherwise, it is open to everybody.
It is, of course. I can also open it. Whatever you prepare.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions, guys? All good?
I have one question. When we create a site, we can, according to our, for example, companies have many projects going on. So I believe that the site name that what you have given is 001234 that can be replaced by the project number or a project title, something like that, to track that project, right?
Yes. You can.
Thank you for confirming.
Okay. Okay, guys. Now, so as I mentioned, I will take Scrum and I will create one project name, guys. Probably let's talk about which one. We will take Swiggy or anything. Okay, I have taken Swiggy, or probably I will take something like Zomato, because we have taken Zomato. Okay, I will take Zomato and I will create. So we have created a project. Generally, this project is already created. If you are the first one to create, you will create it, or else somebody else will create this project, guys. Okay, so Atlassian is recommending other tools to you guys. These are the list of tools Atlassian is recommending. If you do not want to use them, you can skip them. Okay, guys, clear. Now I have come to the main page of the project. I have come to the main page of the project. That is the first page of your project. So now let's look at what all Jira is offering to us. Point number one, you have a list of your work that has been recommended or assigned to you. We have recent work. We have assigned to me projects. You have different boards if you want to work on. So this is my work, my login, my work. Okay, so what all projects are you currently working on? Generally in Agile, we work on multiple projects. Okay, unlike waterfall, we work on multiple projects in Agile. So currently I'm working on one project only, that is Zomato. Okay, ZOM is the name. I'm working on Zomato. If you want to put any filters to save your or to look at multiple issues, you can, but we do not have any issues right now. We will ignore it. What is a dashboard? I'm sure you know Power BI, Tableau. You can create dashboards. Then which people you want to invite to Jira, you want to create a team, you can. Or if you have any apps that is you want to manage, you can also manage the tools recommended by Atlas. Okay, guys. And now on the left hand corner, you see a roadmap. This is nothing but a Gantt chart in waterfall. So guys, what is a Gantt chart? Gantt chart is nothing but a progress report of your project. Same manner, this roadmap is a progress report of your project. See, if you notice, I have today ka work, I have weeks, I have months, and have quarters also. However you want, you can distribute and look at the view of the progress of your project. That is called as a roadmap. Clear? Okay. Now I come to the backlog page. So this is where we will create the backlog in few minutes. This is a board. This is a user storyboard, guys, which we will also do it a little later. Then it is for development. There is a code written here that we will not touch at all. So the project pages, if you have any project pages that you want to capture, you can do it. You can write your notes. You can write your designs, product requirements, whatever you want, you can keep on adding here. It is also, you can try this template in Confluence, because Confluence talks about the documents, right? I told you. Next is your project settings, which are also, I'll explain you a little later. Okay, guys? So now let's go to the backlog.
Sorry, I have a question. This is Kimaya. As I asked that the website name, I mean the name of the project, you have put 001, 2, 3, 4, and now you have put the another project, software project, that is Zomato. What is the difference between those?
Zomato is a project name. 001 is my ID, like my ID, my unique identification.
Okay,
Zomato
so,
is a project name.
So the person who buys it, he can give an access to multiple peoples. Is
Multiple? A little
people.
louder, please.
Multiple peoples. I mean, for
Of
example,
course, right? Because the whole team will access your project.
Okay. Okay, right.
Okay. Okay, guys. Now, I have opened my backlog. So please note, I have to first create my backlog, guys. Nilima, your question is, if it is an open source. Okay. So Nilima, it is an open source. Just I answered Major about it, Nilima. Open source is nothing but you do not need any admin to install that into your computer. Okay. But companies will purchase Jira because your documents are not confidential if you don't purchase it. You do not get the complete access of all the features if you don't purchase it. So if you want to have Jira for your own company, then you must purchase this tool. Did I answer your question, Nilima? Okay. So guys, going back to Jira again, I have to first create a product backlog, guys. Now let's talk about it. Now, very important point, all of you please pay attention. In Jira, no matter what, even if it's a user story, it's a epic or whatever it is, every user story in Jira is called as an issue. Jira has a very unique way of understanding a user story. Every user story in Jira is called as an issue. So currently in the backlog, I am creating issues, guys. Okay, let's create an issue. Now, as a Zomato, right? As a customer, I want to register to the application so that I can log in. As a restaurant owner, I want to register to the application so that I can log in. Yes, Vicky. We call it as a roadmap here. Okay, as a customer, I want to log in so that I can search for the menu. As a delivery boy, I want to log in so that I can view the list of deliveries. As a restaurant owner, I want to login so that I can list my in the application. So guys, basically I am writing user stories. Notice what am I doing? I'm creating the backlog. I'm creating a product backlog. As I mentioned, a product backlog would have such user stories, right? So we'll just create few more user stories, guys.
Ma'am, I
Yes.
have doubt.
Yes,
Backlog
please.
is to created by product owner, no?
Product backlog is not created only by product owner. Everybody will work on the product backlog.
BA also? Thank you.
Even technical team can create, right?
User
Backlog.
stories, yes. Can write user, not create, write user stories.
Right.
Product backlog is there. We'll only write user stories.
Why do we create a backlog?
Because it's a list of, you need a list, right? You want to know how many features are there you want to work on. So that big list is called as a backlog. Like RTM in waterfall. Are we all clear this? So we have a backlog. Now please note, the industry norm says that unless and until you do not have 3 user stories, you cannot start a sprint. Without 3 user stories, you cannot start a sprint. Now what you need to note is, guys, I have not even created an epic. I have directly started writing user stories. You all agree? Now, please understand, epics are optional in the Scrum project. Not every project will have epics. You can directly start working on the user stories only, guys. Epics are completely optional. You don't even have to categorize them into features. You can directly work on user stories, no problem at all. But for our understanding, we will create epics. Okay, so here I will create one epic, guys. Go to epic panel, create epic. Now, what epic I'll create? Registration is one.
But if epics are there, then it would look more systematic, isn't it?
Not every project might have such categorizations.
Okay, so it is not required at all.
Not required at all. Nahin. Some projects will have epics, some projects might not have epics.
Okay.
Okay, guys. So I have created certain epics here, guys. I have created 3 epics: registration, login, and payment. Okay, now I'm good to go. Now I can start my sprint. Now see this. How can I start a sprint? You just have to drag and drop that user story from a backlog to a sprint. Okay, do you see this? There is sprint 1, right? I have a sprint 1. What will I do? I will take this user story, drag and drop. Drag and drop. Okay, drag and drop.
Minimum how many story we can drag and drop?
3, minimum 3.
Okay.
And
Ma'am,
but
yes. Before we drag anyhow, but we have to go through that Moscow technique also. No, we have to see to it as which are the stories which should come up in priority.
Yes, that is done out of Jira only, no, Major. In Jira doesn't care. Jira only says you drag, you give me a sprint. How which user stories you want to give it? Jira doesn't care.
That the meeting, the team will do.
The team will do out of Jira. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So guys, somebody asked me in the chat. Who is this? Roshani. I just dragged and dropped it like this. I just dragged and dropped the user story into one sprint, guys. Are we all clear? The way I created one sprint. Now I will start the sprint. I will start the sprint. Are we all clear, guys?
Yes.
Now you can
now this minimum 3 sprint means that this thing means that user story means that in that entire 1 week or 2 week you have to complete these 3 user stories at least.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So guys, you can rename your sprint if you want to, or you can just leave it like that, no problem. Just a second, guys. Let me charge my laptop. 1 second. Yeah. Okay. You can also rename your sprint if you want to, guys, or else you can just leave it like that. Be selected by Scrum.
Here we also decide the start date when the sprint has to start and when it has to finish.
You will decide all of this in the sprint planning meeting.
Okay, set it according to that in the Jira.
Exactly. Shailesh, the user, how many user stories will be decided Scrum team only in the planning meeting. Okay, guys, yeah. Maximum you can have n number of Rathod. There are companies who have 500 user stories also in one sprint.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, I will start the sprint now, guys. As I mentioned, I can put the same name or I can rename the sprint if you want to. The duration is 2 weeks, as I mentioned. You can also change to 1, 2, or whatever weeks you want. You can change it. See here, you're saying that for 1 week, the start date is today, 19th. If you notice, if I change the start date, the end date will change. Do you see this?
Yes.
Right? Because I just put 1 week, it is calculating 1 week from today. Okay, guys. But if you put custom, then you need to manually update your start and the end date. Start and the end date, guys. Okay. Now you can also put a sprint goal. Please note, what do you want to achieve at the end of that sprint? Vicky, just give me 1 minute, I'll answer. What do you want to achieve at the end of that sprint is nothing but your sprint goal. You want to deliver. Just a second, guys. Yes. So guys, I want to put a sprint goal, deliver these features to the client. Or deliver these user stories for UAT testing. Let's assume I only want to take it to UAT testing. Okay, that is my goal. Okay. Okay, guys, I'm done. So I just put one goal. So directly I'm going to the board. If you notice, from backlog, directly jumped into the board. Directly jumped into the board. And this board is called as a user story board, guys. It's called as a user story board. Are you all clear so far? Any doubts, any questions? No, Satish, you cannot have all sprints in same duration. You can have different duration for different sprints. Okay, and ma'am, there is one issue. Jira, we have to focus on the issues and bugs or anything else. Vicky, we will concentrate on user stories, Vicky. In Jira, a user story is called as an issue. For now, don't worry about anything else. Concentrate on how to handle a project in Jira. That's it. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
So, guys, now what do I have? I have a. Can you show how to create? Rahul, just go here, Rahul. From here, you can create a epic. Okay, so guys, now what? Yeah.
I have doubt. If a sprint is a 1 week period, if we extend it, so what will happen? We have to work from again product backlog, or we have to continue where we
generally, Aarti, we should not extend the sprint unless and until you're not adding new user stories.
Okay.
Okay,
No,
generally
ma'am,
that. Go ahead.
just I'm asking if any technical issue, anything, if 1 week there is period we are selected, if anything issues is happening, so if it is extended, so what will happen in that project? We to restart or we have to continue?
Generally, the sprint will not get extended. Aarti, it should, what happens is if you're unable to complete your user stories, you will discuss that at the and in a review meeting, and you'll ask you'll whatever has, let's assume you have like 10 user stories, okay, but you're unable to finish it. You have 2 more left. Instead of extending your sprint duration, you will put those 2 unworked user stories back to product backlog. Again, you will work, but you will not extend your user story sprint effort.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
How do we manage change request if it is received during the sprint?
You will add them to the product backlog. Actually, the process is same, just that you will not add it to the sprint. You'll add it to the product backlog.
So after adding, then does that mean like it will be managed in the next sprint?
Depends. Again, you do an MVP, right? If you think that that change request is compulsory right now, you will do it in the immediate next sprint or else other sprints.
So say for example, in the current sprint, we have this registration user story, right? And if the change request is in relevance to this particular point, then that can be included in the sprint. However, if it is not.
No. You will not add a user story to the current sprint. You will immediately parallelly run a new sprint. But you cannot add a user story to the current sprint.
Okay.
Ma'am, but see, extension or due date extension or other of the sprint is actually dependent on the development part, right? So
we do the decision in the planning meeting only, Priyanka. So what you're talking about, the issues with the development and all things, these decisions should be taken in the planning meeting only. Guys, 1 minute, Rahul. Let me answer.
What do they consider?
Yeah, so what I'm saying is that we will do this decision in the planning meeting only. Okay, if your user stories are not completed, then you will discuss what went wrong and you'll add it back to the product backlog, and again you'll create another sprint.
But ma'am, if it is a matter of only adding only 1 or more new users.
Major, it is not about 1 or 2. It's all about the duration. Please understand, guys. When you're working on a sprint, okay, sprint is a very tight time boxed event. Okay, when you are creating one sprint duration, please note here, right? The whole Scrum team is involved in the sprint planning meeting, and a sprint is only finalized after thorough discussion and confirmation from the team.
Hello.
Okay, just a minute, Mandar. I'm speaking. I'm telling something. So unless and until you do not take that confirmation, the sprint will not start. And in between the sprint, if you feel that like small changes are coming, the team will not agree to it, because if I keep doing it, I will not deliver the sprint on time.
Okay.
You getting it?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Now
Yes.
please ask your questions.
Ma'am, I have one question. Can I ask?
Yes, Viren.
Ma'am, can you just show how to write an acceptance criteria for the particular user story and how to add the complexity point?
How to write a?
Acceptance criteria for a particular user
I will show
story.
that, Viren. I didn't go there yet. Once I go, I will explain you.
Okay.
Yes. Other questions, guys? Anybody?
As you said, that
very
will
quick
not-
question about the sprint duration. We selected 1 week, and here on the top right side says 5 days remaining. So does a week mean working 5 days, Monday to Friday, or is it like Monday to Sunday? How
No,
does it come?
Monday to Friday.
Okay, because the calendar showed Monday to next Sunday. That's
Monday to Friday.
okay.
One small question.
Yes.
Like we consider we have 2 weeks of sprint. Are this 10 working days inclusive of testing, or it is only for development?
Only for development.
Okay.
As you said that team will not take any kind of change request in between the sprint duration. But we are aware that Scrum welcomes changes, right?
Yes.
So
the changes what you come will be added to the product backlog. Thus, yes, Scrum does accept change requests, guys, but they will not be added to the sprint. That is what I'm telling you. Back-end work is happening. Jira may you're only managing the project, but back-end out of Jira, you're handling the change request process, you're handling the meetings, you're taking everything. But as per the rule, the agile rule, you cannot add a change request directly to the sprint. You will add it to the product backlog. Then you'll add it to a new sprint, but not to the sprint directly. That is what I'm trying to explain here.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
Yeah, like you said, after completing first sprint, I mean Zomato sprint 1, if the features has been delivered to the client and for the same we get a change request, so it will be added in second sprint, I mean in the backlog itself, of course, but it will be attended or addressed later on, right?
Yes or no, the answer is here. The reason being, generally in organizations, you will not run on one sprint at one time. You will have like 10 sprints parallelly running. That is why it is called as agile, because it is all about agility or flexibility. Unlike waterfall, where you do one phase after other, in agile, guys, please note, we run in multiple sprints are running parallelly. Okay, let's assume I have a change request on registration and I want to work on it. I can parallelly run another sprint. I don't have to wait for this sprint to complete, another sprint to start. Okay, I can run parallel sprints and I can finish it faster.
So the same team can be working on many different sprints?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
But if the feature has been delivered and we have some changes or addition to that feature, then how that will be addressed?
You generally don't deliver it if you have any other changes, right? You will not deliver unless everything is not clear, because UAT will not be passed. Okay, guys?
Ma'am, hello.
Yes.
So how can we add the features in the Epic? Can you show once?
Features, yes, Rahul. So guys, now I have a user story, okay? Double click on it. Now, once you double click on this, I can now add an epic. I can add registration as an epic. Now I have added registration as an epic. Okay, next. I will go to, if I want to attach any documents relevant to this user story, you can attach it here. If you have any child issues or if you want to any link, any dependency, you can also add it here to this user story. Now I will add the acceptance criteria here. Okay, now for example, what is a customer I want to register to application? So here I want to register. Open the home page. Click on the registration or sign up button. Enter the mandatory fields such as name, phone number, probably your address or whatever it is. Okay, then click on submit, receive an confirmation to the registered email ID or phone number. So basically, so here I'm saying that I want to log in. So number, the login page.
This page has come when we have double clicked on the issue, one of the issues.
Issues are nothing but dependencies.
How did this page come?
Double on the user story. Yes, you have double click on the user story. Yes.
Yeah.
Can you show me, ma'am, again? Actually, I'm facing network issue. That's why I'm not seeing.
So guys, again, what I have done is double click on it. You'll come here.
Okay, that's fine.
That's it. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes. Now I'll go to the same one. I will open it. Now what I have done, I have written the acceptance criteria, guys. Okay. Now I will assign it to the concerned team, right? You can either assign to me, I can assign it to myself, I can assign it to the team, or assign it to anybody that I want. You'll get a list of people, whoever you're adding, no, you'll get that list. You can add it to them. So currently you can assign it to anybody or even to self. Okay, then this is a sprint. It is confirming if that's a sprint. Now, what is story point estimate? You're creating one story point or complexity points, guys. Okay, so here I can put 7. That is nothing but 7 hours. So the product, the development team is saying that it will take 7 hours to work on this user story. I will say, okay. Okay, so if you have any development related thing, they'll add it here, but we will not touch this development part because it is handled by the technical team. Okay, guys, then we will close it. So what did I do? I have assigned it. I have already made sure the sprint is connected to sprint 1, and I've added a story point estimate. So this is how I will complete my user story, guys. Are we all clear so far?
I have a question. We
Yes,
have
please.
created backlogs. We have created registration. Now I have a question that who is going to create the steps? I mean, BA, project manager, or product owner, or the team lead who have?
We don't have a team lead here. I'm sorry. For in the Scrum team consists of a Scrum Master, development team, and the product owner. If you're talking about the acceptance criteria is given to you by the product owner, and the assignee, all that will be handled by the Scrum Master.
So this steps or tasks won't be added by BA, is it?
Yes.
Priority level we cannot set, no, in this?
No.
Master technique, or we can't add it.
That is done in product backlog out of Jira. We don't do it in Jira.
Okay.
Okay, guys.
So
So what did I do? Yeah, I'm sorry.
What does that option add a child issue mean?
If you have any relevant or a dependency or any issue with this, okay, like for example, if I want to work on login, unless registration is not working, I can't work on login, no, login user story. If you have any such dependency, just a second, guys. Okay, guys, clear?
Can you just once click on that add a child issue? What it shows? Okay, we have to just text it over there. Okay, okay.
See, what I understand is that the main requirements will be given by the product owner. But then if the development team, because in our organization, they have some internal sub modules for a main requirement. So then they are asking us to raise this child issue or child 1Q, asking the business team to do it. So I think because they have these requirements of or sub modules as far as the development or availability of APIs are concerned, so they should ideally be doing it. So who does it actually in companies.
Which one are you talking? Which user stories?
Yes, you can call it user stories. Suppose I've given a requirement like as a
User
customer
stories,
should be able to.
Priyanka, user stories may the acceptance criteria is given to you by the product owner, Priyanka.
Correct.
The complexity points is given to you by the development team.
Correct. So for every user story, they tell us that we have some sub modules as far as the development is concerned. And then they ask us to raise child issue for one user story separately.
We
So I
don't raise
don't.
anything, Priyanka. Please understand here, it's a teamwork. Okay. When you're talking about the story point estimate, the development team will have a thorough discussion in the planning meeting. And based on all of the points, they will only give this number. They will have a lot of techniques that they use and calculate that number. You're getting it, Priyanka? Okay, so as a Scrum team, as a Scrum master or as a product owner who does not have technical knowledge, we will not raise anything here. And please note, a user story is not one person's job. Here, multiple team members will involve and write a user story. You agree? Because a user story will also have a definition of ready and definition of done also. Right? So the whole team together will write a user story and then fix on these numbers and these details.
So it's either ways, either the product owner can enter it or the development team.
In Jira, you're talking about?
Yes.
In Jira, anybody can
Jira.
write. No, product owner will give you the acceptance criteria. Just a minute, Ashok. So everybody can write. That is what I'm saying. Writing and including it in Jira is not important. Giving the right details is very important here. Even I can write if I have a user story, right?
Ma'am, when we say that anybody can write anything in the Jira, then what is the answer to the question that what is the exact role that is expected from out of a business analyst in Jira?
Major here, please understand a business analyst. Okay, guys, okay, this is a very valid question. I always get this question. Okay, so guys, basically a business analyst, I'll tell you what exactly he does. Please understand, I told you that we work on a product backlog. Now, what is a product backlog, Major?
It is the list of all the user stories.
All the requirements, simple words. You agree?
Yeah, yeah.
Right now, where will I get the list from?
Epics.
Again.
From client.
From the client. Client is the one who will give me the requirements. You all agree? Now, is client just giving it like that?
No, after the elicitation process.
Very good. I have to use elicitation techniques. You agree?
Yes.
Now, who does elicitation?
BA.
You agree? Now,
Yes.
once I get elicitation technique, now whatever requirements I have, shouldn't I see if it is applicable or not? Should I do feasibility study?
Yes.
Should I use gap analysis?
Yes.
Should I do SWOT?
Yes.
Should I note down the requirements?
Yes.
Yeah,
Should I
whether
use
it's
a
a smart or
SMART
not.
technique?
Yes, smart.
Yes.
Right? Should I use? So what is happening? Please understand, a business analyst, you're only limiting your knowledge only to Jira, guys, because here a project is a huge thing. What all I have shown here is out of Jira. You all agree, Major? Do you agree? Right? So please note that a business analyst has a lot more involvement into the project, because a business analyst can play a role of Scrum Master. A business analyst can play a role of a product owner. A business analyst can also play a role of a UAT tester also. Okay, so please don't limit saying what exactly is the role of BA in Agile, because BA is everywhere. Did I answer your question, guys?
Yes.
Major, did I answer your question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Now, going back to my user story, guys. So I have created one user story. Now what happens? Now, every day you'll have a stand-up meeting, guys. Okay, and they will discuss and they will work on the user stories. As they're working on the user stories, guys, the assigned person, it is assigned to me, right? It is assigned to me. What will I do? If I see that my work is being completed, I will move this user story, guys. And whoever has a user story assigned, that person will move the user story as and when he or she is completing the user story. Clear so far? Right? So as I'm doing it, I will complete the user story, guys. Any questions so far? So the movement in the user story board is what is very important for a sprint. So at the end of 2 weeks or 1 week or whatever it is, your user stories should be completed. That is our motto. So the Scrum Master will make sure that the user stories are moving, guys. If you have any impediments, they will check in the daily stand-up meeting. Is the user stories moving or the standing there only? Do you have any child issues? Do you have any dependencies? Do you have any impediments? They will look into it. That is how the sprint will run. Are we all clear, guys? The whole process of sprint?
Ma'am, how can we exactly differentiate the role of a product owner and a Scrum Master?
Product owner is a client person, is a client. Scrum Master is a project manager.
Okay, so it is a client who decides that how the user stories have to be framed and how many user stories have to come and how will it go into the sprint?
No, product owner will only give you the acceptance criteria. The Scrum team, which is development team, and the Scrum Master will decide how many user stories will come in one sprint.
Ma'am, but when we are working on this project, what is the role of a client in this in the sprint? In the
You have to give a product backlog. No, who will prepare a product backlog?
We will prepare. The team will prepare.
No.
Input will be from the business stakeholders, no? That
How
we
will
will
you prepare a
elicitate
product
the
backlog without knowing the requirements? How will you prepare a product backlog without knowing what to prepare and what to add in there?
Okay, we got the requirements when we understood everything, and then we what I understood is that the team has to prepare the requirements, the user stories, and everything. So we have to finally get it finalized with the client. Is it like that?
Undoubtedly, no. Waterfall, you do the same thing, no, Major.
Okay, so he is also a part of the team.
Who? The product owner.
Yeah, product owner.
Yes, he of course the part of it.
Okay, so a person from the client's company will be a part of this Scrum team.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am. And Scrum Master is the exact person who is handling monitoring all these things.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am. And we were about to discuss the difference between product backlog and a sprint backlog also.
Sprint backlog is nothing but list of sprints.
List of sprints. Okay.
I told you, no, you'll have parallel sprints running in a project. So the parallel sprints that you have in a project is a sprint backlog, just like a product backlog.
Okay, ma'am. Product backlog is the entire thing, and sprint backlog is the major chunks of that means the product backlog.
The screen which you are showing right now itself is a sprint backlog, right?
Yes.
And then one more. Like this, your acceptance criteria also has some syntax as we have in user stories, like as this thing I want to, so that this type of.
No. Ma'am, does client need daily follow-up?
Client?
Does client need daily follow-up, like whatever we have done today, or it is just in the?
Yes.
The screen which is right now in front of us itself is a sprint backlog, right?
Yes. Okay, guys. So I have what happens, guys, here? My user stories are all in the completed status. So I can complete the sprint. My sprint is completed. So directly you will go to the sprint 2. Again, you will do the same story. You will drag and drop it and you will prepare a new sprint.
So after you click that complete thing, you cannot do anything in that sprint 1.
No, over.
Okay.
Again, I go to sprint 2 and I will complete this. That is how you will keep on adding the more and more sprints, guys.
And in case you want to do some corrections or rectifications in that close sprint, you need to take the permission of the client.
No, You can't make changes, mate. That is what I'm telling you, right? You cannot, it's a closed. Once you have closed it, you cannot open it. You can't make changes.
Okay, so that means that the entire team must agree when we have to close the sprint.
That is what we do in sprint planning meeting, no?
Okay, fine.
Sangeeta, this is a high level question. Am I audible?
Yes, Shalini, you are. Now you're not audible.
Am I audible now?
Yes.
Yeah, like BA has a 15% of the CDL time. Let's say 2 months in 1 year project. So sprint starts after the 2 months, no? This Scrum
No, Shalini. That is waterfall.
That is in waterfall, not in the agile.
Agile it is a group work. You cannot confine the group members' involvement to one particular time. Group work.
No, like when a BA gets a project, so he needs some special time to do elicitation, to prepare all the feature list and for the requirement and all. So this, after this whole work is done, then the Scrum team and the agile work starts, right? They don't start parallelly to it.
Why can't I start? Because Scrum I have one feature. Why can't I start the sprint of that feature once I have the registration completed?
Because until my whole product log is ready with the priority list, then only the team take up the sprint, start taking up the sprint. If my product log is not ready, without the requirement and elicitation techniques and the SWOT analysis and all, and the prioritization, how can a team starts on the product backlog?
If my registration is one feature.
Okay.
Payment is second feature. Are they related?
No. So if let's say if it is an easy thing that registration can start, and then we can work on the other feature where the priority is required, like that.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
That way we'll finish it faster.
Okay, so elicitation technique and the prioritization can work together with the agile. Let's say if there is any easy task that can be taken earlier and can be completed.
Not easy, but priority.
Priority, like registration is required minimum as per the minimum MVP. So it will be taken and done. And in the meantime, the other prioritization would be done by the whole team, elicitation team, and then it would be shifted to product backlog.
Yes.
Okay.
Can we see the list of completed sprints? Is it possible?
We will show it in a report.
Okay. Thank you.
Ma'am, but there is one thing, like when we talk that we keep on delivering in various sprints, then the utility of the software is in a totality. No? Like it has got registration, it has got login, it has got payment. What is the use of getting one or two things unless and until the entire software is complete? Like you got my question?
No.
Like for example, we take the example of Amazon. So until the customer can log in, until the manufacturers can put display their products and everything, until that customer can make the payment, until the entire thing is ready, what is the use of delivering the software bit by bit?
You can. Major, please understand here, it is not one day's job.
Fine, but
I'm not delivering it to the end user yet.
Okay, to the customer, to the client.
To the client, like for example, right now I have registration, I want to log in. Why can't I accept customers who want to do delivery on cash on delivery?
Okay, fine that way. Oh, fine.
Am I not losing business?
Yeah, right.
Then
the sprint which we have completed, which we have shown that it is completed. So that page it cannot be viewed again.
I will view it in a report. I'll show that thing.
But once we have showed it complete, we cannot view it again. That sprint one page, the one which you have added into the done stage, the user story, that page cannot be viewed again.
The sprint one you're talking about.
Yes, sprint one which you have shown right now.
I will show you. Wait, guys. I will now just give you 10 minutes, guys. Let me finish the whole process once, and then you'll ask me questions. Okay, hold on. Okay. So guys, now what happened? I have completed the whole user stories and the sprints are completed. Now, what can I do? I can view the reports. So I will go to the project settings and I will go to the features. I will activate the reports. Okay, I will see the reports. Here I can view the reports. So I can take a burn up report. See, I want sprint one. I want to know how many sprints have been completed. See, sprint started as a customer. This is my sprint. This is my user story 6. And these are my this is sprint 2 and this is sprint 1. I have started my sprints. Okay, so I want to take a burn down chart also. I can view the burn down chart also. I can view them as ever you want, guys. You can change it. Okay, this is the story that you have completed, the summary. Somebody asked me, right? Ashok, you asked me, can I view it again? Then Nilima, give me a few minutes. I'll answer
Yes,
the question.
I did. Yes.
Right? So this is how you can view your user stories.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah, you can have a
Graph
number
is
of
not
reports.
seen over there. The graph of the sprint backlog.
Sorry.
The graph of the sprint backlog is not seen. It's not shown over here.
Sprint, the graph of sprint backlog.
Yes. Sorry.
No,
the graph of sprint burn down. Sorry, sprint burn down.
Burn down here. I can see. No, see, this is here. I have
Zero
only
completion.
0 because I've completed it. Remaining work. No, burn down. I've finished the work today.
The
only.
one which is highlighted in the it is a
Red
graph.
is exactly.
It is a graph. Okay.
It's completed. So to have more, you think after the session is over, you can create your own reports and view them.
Ma'am, can you say a few points about velocity report, please?
Velocity is nothing but the, how can I say this? Generally what happens is every developer will have certain time he can allocate to our project, Albab. Okay, so the Scrum Master will calculate how much of time a developer can spend on my current project. As I told you, right, we work on multiple projects in Agile. Okay, so how much of time can I spend on this project? That is called as velocity in Agile or in sprint.
Okay.
How many story points can you complete in one team, in one sprint by a team? Story point is nothing but how many hours you can spend, development team. That calculation is called as velocity.
It is applicable only when we work in multiple projects, right?
If we will work in Agile is all about working in multiple projects only. Generally, we never work in one sprint.
Right. Thank you.
Guys, now you can ask, okay, now before you get into the questions, I'll just walk through the whole thing again and again, guys. First and foremost, what you do, you open Jira, okay? You will first create a project, then you will create your user stories, okay? Once you create a user story, you will drag them into sprints, okay? Once you drag them into sprints, you will start your sprint and directly come to the board. Okay, here you will double click on the user story and write the details of the user story. And as the team is completing, they will move to done and they will complete the sprint. Once you have completed the sprint, you can view the status of your sprint by going to the reports, and you can view whatever report you want. You can view it from here, guys. So from a business analyst or from a functional resource of Jira, you can start and understand the complete project from the beginning to the end. So the submissions of the sprints is nothing but a Scrum project. Okay, guys. So now this is how we work on the complete project management in Scrum. Are we all clear from A to Z, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Ma'am, it's not mandatory, no, to add epic for each sprint. Just by adding the user stories, it will do. No, we can start the sprint.
Yes.
It's not necessary that we should add an epic for every.
No.
Yes. Okay.
I have a question here. We have efforts, right? For example, if a particular user story takes 8 hours to be completed in a particular sprint, well and good. If that is completed halfway, like let's imagine, like 4 hours development is completed against that particular user story, whereas the rest 4 hours is not yet completed. So down the end of that particular sprint, how are you going to close this sprint, and that balance part of development, how are you going to kind of add it to the next sprint?
Unless and until your development is not completed, you will not move it to the completed stage, right, Satish?
Okay.
If a development is not completed, you cannot see. Okay. So to answer this question, Satish, we have 2 things that you need to know here. One is called as definition of ready and definition of done. Okay. So now what is definition of ready? Definition of ready is nothing but a technical list of a developer. Okay. Let's assume you have certain user stories. Okay. Developer has a list. When is that user story completed? When that list has been fulfilled, like code is working, this is working, that is working. If that list is completed, only then the development work is completed. You getting it, Satish?
Yeah,
right?
I got
So
it. I got it.
unless the development team does not fulfill or does not check on the development or definition of ready, you cannot say that your sprint is completed. In the same manner, the functional team or the client will also have another list called as definition of done. When you want to submit your sprint to the client, you will check from the DoD. Okay, is DoD all completed? Only then you can say that your sprint is successful.
Can you tell us a little about this, the other reports that are available and when to use those? The cycle time.
Depends on the requirements, no, Ashok. If you
Okay.
want to calculate the velocity, if you want to know how many story points have been completed, go to
Mhm.
velocity report.
Okay.
If you want to know how much of work is completed, go to sprint burn down. If you want to look at how much of work is pending, go to burn up. Depending on your requirement, you can go get into that report.
And the other two were more there. I think one is cumulative and the cycle time.
Cumulative. Wait. Features. Wait, where are the reports? Reports. Okay, see burn-up. Here, if you notice, Jira is also explaining us the answer here, Ashok. When you want to use the Jira is already explaining you what is a report all about. So depending on your requirement, you can click on that, you can get to a report.
I understood. Thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah, I have a question as someone was asking about partial completion of work. And this is what I'm facing in my organization recently, that we have a mobile app, but the development or the tech team, they are saying that we can go ahead only with these many features. Like they said that they'll be allowing payments, but they'll not allow adding a beneficiary. Right. But then this sounds absurd. I mean, we cannot release a half-baked product. So does it really happen in other companies also? So how should we handle such cases?
If the development team is disagreeing on to work on certain user stories and they say there's a dependency, open another sprint and parallelly work on it, no?
When you say that open another sprint and parallelly work on it, see, I as a product manager over here can just give the requirements, right? But the tech team has to work on it, and they are saying that they will not be able to provide add beneficiary option, but they will provide add make payments option. So now I'm stuck.
Scrum Master. That is why we have a Scrum Master to handle these issues. Scrum Master should talk to the development team.
Then I don't think we have any Scrum Master, because
then you should hire somebody from our group because they can work as a Scrum Master.
That's a good one on spot offer.
Practically speaking,
please guys, anybody want to join a Scrum Master, please take a number and join.
Please share the number.
Hello. Yes, guys. Any other
One other
questions?
question
Frankly
is like,
speaking, how
Can
should
you
I
open that
handle
sprint?
this case?
Guys, just a second. Let's Priyanka finish her questions. Yes, Priyanka.
Okay,
Just a practical advice from you. How should I handle such a case?
So here, Priyanka, if you have dependencies, the users generally developers doesn't agree. That is there everywhere. So, so if that scenario is happening, so what you do is talk to the tech head, tech lead. Tell him, sir, if you are talking about sprint one and there's a dependency on certain user stories. So simple one, what you can do is you can attach the dependencies into sprint user stories only.
Okay.
Number one. Or if they don't agree to attach any issues to your current sprint, open a new or start a new sprint and parallelly work on those dependencies. So eventually that feature would be released.
All right, we'll take it up to the tech.
Because
lead
again,
or
what
tech
happened
head.
is one mistake what the team has done is these discussions must be done during the planning meeting. You should not let the sprint begin if you have such kind of dependency, number one. Unfortunately, because sprint has begun, we can't cancel the sprint, right? So parallelly, you should open another sprint and work on only on those dependencies. Because this is honestly, Priyanka, that is inefficiency of the team, the Scrum team. The Scrum team is inefficient here where they couldn't plan well. So the punishment here is you have to not start new features, but work on these dependencies and complete this, go to DOD and then submit to the client and then start a new sprint and a new feature. Okay, Priyanka?
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Then. Yeah.
I have two questions. One
Yes,
is,
please.
I heard somewhere like we can directly import stories from our local system into Jira. This first question. And second is there any kind of mechanism where we can add subtasks to an existing user story?
First, what's the first question, Satish?
Importing user stories from a local system. Like I saw somewhere, like, they have written all the user stories in an Excel and they have imported into Jira directly.
They have imported to Jira directly. I generally have not done it because we do it manually in Jira. What happens if you put it in an Excel sheet? It is very difficult to track in Jira, because what happens is you cannot attach a lot of things to this. So that would be a bad idea, because we have Jira to list down that. Again, writing in Excel, again putting into Jira would not be a great advice, but I'm not sure how you can import it from Jira here.
Yeah.
Second question. Second question. Subtask. You have an option to attach it here, no? I told you, if you go to a user story, you can attach it there. Let's assume if I go to here, you can attach it here.
Okay. Yeah.
You can attach it here.
Okay. Thanks. And
Yeah.
one of the last thing is like, how are we going to manage testing here? Because we were all discussing about
Testing, you have to purchase a new feature called as bug tracking. And testing is done in testing server, not in Jira.
Okay.
You can only track the bugs, not test here.
Okay.
Okay. Abhishek has certain questions. Let me answer Abhishek questions. Okay. Vikram says, okay, Priya, we get the recording, Priya, but probably tomorrow they will send you the recording. Okay. Here the backlog is sprint backlog. Vikram, okay, wait. This is a product backlog, which says backlog here, Vikram. Okay, but this is a sprint. This is a sprint backlog. Okay. We can't. Abhishek, we are not contradicting the agile methodologies. Abhishek, we are saying that you can definitely add changes to it. But once the sprint has been discussed and started, okay, what happens is, if you in the sprint planning meeting, the timing, the duration, the user stories, the story points are all calculated. And once you keep on adding new user stories to the sprint, you cannot deliver on the time that you have been promised to the client, right? So here quality is very important. Instead of adding new user stories to the sprint, start new sprints parallelly. That way you will finish it faster. Okay. How do we calculate minimum? We don't calculate, Krishna Kumar, MVP. We have this lot of techniques here. One is Pareto technique 2080. Okay. We're only discussing on what are the important features. Okay, and we prioritize them, because we have a huge team to discuss what it would be on the MVP. It's all based on the client requirements.
Can you show how to start parallel sprint? Now that we already have one parallel sprints.
How do we here? See, if you notice here, I'm unable to show you the parallel sprints though. But if you notice, I'm working on parallel sprint 2, sprint 3, right? So once let's assume I log in. I'll work on sprint 1, you log in, you work on sprint 2.
Got it. Okay.
You can work on sprint 2 or work on sprint 1. Just that you can't see the parallel sprints here in Jira, but that is how you will work on.
Okay.
Can you open that sprint 1, which is completed, that sprint backlog page?
Reports.
Once again.
No, not in the it is not open. I can see it in the reports because I've completed the sprint, right? If it's not completed, I can see it in the backlog.
Okay, from the project settings, you have to go there.
To reports,
from
yes.
the
Project settings, features, reports. Yes.
Okay. Just can you show it once?
Yeah, sure. This is your
with the completed sprint one,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions, guys?
When these reports come handy, I mean,
when you want to discuss, tell your team the progress of your project, no, how much you have completed, what is the status of your sprints, where is it, what is happening, just to know what is what, you can use that reports.
Ma'am, this
Yes, Kimaya, yes.
I was hoping that if we could navigate through the reports, for example, if we click on certain point or the chart, if you can show one chart.
Here the thing is, because I have completed it, I'm unable to do it.
Okay, no problem. I just wanted to make sure.
Maybe in the sprint, if we can make something pending and then we mark it complete, probably that will give us reports, right?
Guys, you if not a problem, can you please do it from your own
Sure.
thing, because again I have to start a new sprint and again do it.
No problem. I just wanted to make sure I mean, I understand it. If we can we navigate it through reports? For example, one issue is not solved or resolved, or have given some problems. Can clicking on that chart or that point can get us to the issue we logged in?
Here, if your sprint is, the report is nothing but a pictorial representation of your work. That's it. If you want to see what went right, what went wrong, here you can come to the summary and you can see here.
Okay.
The summary will explain you what went right, and click on it, you will be able to go there again.
So to get the burn down chart, it is necessary to add the complexity point for each
yes,
sprint, right?
yes,
For each
yes.
user story, right?
Yes.
Unless and until we can't see the burn down
Yes.
chart.
Yes.
Okay.
Ma'am, this acceptance criteria is basically a statement which will ensure that whatever we had required from a user story has been achieved or not.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Business rule also can be the part of the acceptance criteria, right? You can mention it in the descriptive manner.
Business rule is not acceptance criteria.
No, we can put it in the acceptance criteria also. After putting all the points of acceptance criteria at the end, we put the business rules.
Put as a note, put complete separate as business rule and then put it. Don't say it as a part of acceptance criteria.
Okay, but we can add it in this, no?
You can write and whatever you want, you can add there. Description.
Total now, how many characters it supports for each?
There is no limit to it, Viren. If at all you want to add lot of information later, you can add it in the comments below. Every user story has comments.
Okay.
You can add it there.
Ma'am, there is a question actually I had asked earlier also, but at that time you had answered, but my network, there was some issue, so I couldn't get that entire thing. Can I ask that question again?
What is the question, Major?
What is it that is exactly expected out of a business analyst in this Jira?
It's a very big explanation I gave. Please go to the recording and listen to it now.
Okay, ma'am.
It's a very big explanation I gave through a Word document also.
Yeah. Get that entire thing.
Yeah.
There was issue with the network, so.
Yeah.
That is very big.
Yes, a little big. Yes.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Ma'am, what is acceptance criteria?
It is nothing but a list of points that you have to fulfill to say that your user story is completed.
Okay.
Just like a happy path.
Okay.
Okay. So guys, anyone here who does not have a question can please log out, guys, because we have completed the session. We are only going through question and answer session. Anyone completed? I have no doubts. Please log out.
As a different part of the organization, not as a BA, but one can create the documentation and get its approval via this Jira tool?
No, Jira is only a project management tool. Approval ke liye you have to take a sign off. That's a different process.
Okay.
Ma'am, that Confluence thing over there helps us in making the documents or just in saving the documents?
Saving the documents.
Saving. Okay.
In the real time when the complexity points are given, so it is given on the basis of the number of hours which is required, or it's given by the poker card method in the real time? What
Effort.
Exactly?
Poker card is a technique to calculate.
Okay.
It is
So
only on the effort of the development team.
So in real time it follows number of hours.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. So guys, if you have no questions, can we call it a day?
Ma'am, is this Jira used for both agile and waterfall methodologies, or is it only specific to agile?
Only for agile.
Okay.
So guys, yes, yeah, you have a question? Okay, guys, then we don't have questions, then let's log out. We have done for the session, right? So please go through the recording once. And if you have any questions, again, related to Jira, you can join the doubt clarification session that we have 7 a.m. or 7 p.m. every day. So if you have any other doubts, you can go through the recording, do your practice using Jira. And if you have any other questions, you can definitely join the doubt clarification session.
Ma'am,
Okay?
one more question.
Yes, please.
In the live project, we have to show the product backlog. So can we create it in Jira and copy paste it in our project?
Yes.
That we can do, right?
Yes.
So it can be a big this thing. So there'll be a multiple screens which will be attached. That we can do, right?
Yes, yes, you can. As long as the document is able to upload, you can.
Okay, okay.
Ma'am, one last question. Where will I find this recording?
Minal, we don't find it right away, Minal. I'll have to send it to the concerned person. I will send it to the team because today it's off. They're not available. Tomorrow I'll upload it. Tomorrow it will be uploaded.
Again, I'll find in the same library section. No?
Library section, exactly.
Okay, okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
And these recordings are available in the YouTube also?
No, Major. They're not available in the YouTube, but they have to upload it. Only then it would be available in YouTube.
When coming to waterfall and V model, what methodology will use?
Use both, no? The industry is using both.
Okay.
Industry uses both.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay then, guys. Chalo then.
Thank you, Sangeeta. It
You're
was
most
very
welcome. Yeah,
Thanks, Sangeeta.
take it. Most welcome, guys.
Thank you, Sangeeta ma'am. It was nice, informative session. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you. Take care.